everyone, welcome back to my channel, Numerics with Nadia. In today's video, we're going to build off of what we learned last time in our lesson on the angles formed by a transversal. If you guys haven't watched that video, I would highly encourage you to watch that video first before getting into today's practice video. We're going to dive straight into our practice problems today. The directions for our practice section say to solve for x or the numbered angle where applicable. If we look at number 1, we are given 120 degrees, and we can go through and solve for angle 8, also being 120 degrees because alternate exterior angles are congruent. So we know that angle 8 is 128 degrees. Because of that, we can also assume that angle 5 will be 120 degrees as well, because those two are vertical angles. And if we apply the same principle, we also know that angle 4 will be 120 degrees because angle 5 and angle 4 are alternate interior angles. And we know that alternate interior angles are congruent, so that means angle 4 is 120 degrees. And now we can get into solving for angle 2. Angle 4 and angle 2 form a straight line, so those two will be supplementary. And what we can do is we can solve for angle 2. And once we do that, all of the other missing angles will be that angle measure. So supplementary means that they add to 180. If we know that angle 4 is 120, then we know that 180 minus 120 gives us 60. So all of those missing angles are 60 degrees. So angle 2 would be 60 degrees, angle 3 is 60 degrees, angle 4 we solved for is 120 degrees, angle 5 is 120 degrees, angle 6 is 60 degrees, angle 7 is 60 degrees, and angle 8 is 120 degrees. So that wraps up our first practice problem for today. Feel free to pause here or rewatch this section if I moved a little too fast for you guys. But now we'll get into our second practice problem for today. For number 2, we have 115 degrees, angle 4, and angle x plus 5. If we look here, we know that angle 4 and 115 degrees are vertical angles, and we know that vertical angles are congruent, so we can just say that angle 4 would be 115 degrees. Now, angle 4 and x plus 5 are going to be supplementary because these two are consecutive interior angles. So what we can do here is we can solve for x. We know that angle 4 was 115 degrees. So we'll do 115 degrees plus x plus 5 is going to equal 180 degrees. When we go through here and combine our like terms and solve for x, we end up getting that x is 60 degrees. So our answers for number 2 are that angle 4 is 115 degrees and x is 60 degrees. Now we will move on to our third and final practice question for today's lesson. For number 3, we're given angle 1, 136 degrees, and 7x plus 9 degrees. We know that angle 1 and 136 degrees are supplementary because they form a straight line. And supplementary means that these two added together will equal 180 degrees. So what we can do here is we can solve for angle 1 by subtracting the 136 over. And when we do that, we get that angle 1 is 44 degrees. Now we know that angle 1 and angle 7x plus 9 degrees are alternate exterior angles. And we know that alternate exterior angles are congruent. So what we can do is we can set these two equal to each other. We will do 7x plus 9 equals 44. And when I go through here and do the algebra, I end up getting that x will equal 5 degrees. So my two answers for number 3 are that angle 1 is 44 degrees and that x is 5 degrees. All right, you guys, that wraps up our lesson for today. Just a quick little lesson on going over some practice problems for angles formed by a transversal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like it if you did. Comment any other video topics or any questions you have down below. Subscribe if you have not already. Share this video with a friend, and I will see you guys next time.